All right, good day, everyone. So yesterday was a very, very long presentation. There was definitely some confusions at first because we did have a very long intro where I was sort of introducing myself to everyone. And there was some thought behind that because we have been the subject of some very heavy criticism and a lot of disinformation and lies about me and about our team and about our company. So there's a lot of new people in the company, and we wanted to basically allow you all to meet me and to meet and understand what our company was all about. And also, I needed to address these people. I needed to do it publicly. I needed to get it out and off my chest so that everyone would understand my feelings in the matter and how upset I am over what they're doing to us, the company, and to all of our investors. So it became such a big issue, really, in a sense that we kept hearing that people would find their propaganda on the internet, and it was affecting our community. It was affecting our investors. They were full of fear and everything. So I really wanted to just address that and make sure that everybody understands really what the nature of their attacks are and how they're unfounded and baseless accusations. So now that we did that, we are going to today get right to the point and have everyone really understand where we are as a company, which is absolutely amazing. We're incredible. We are, you're going to see in the next few days how our company now will blossom, coming out from this sort of long period of preparing and building to finally be able to come out in our true colors of what we are. And I want to explain everything so that everyone can understand, where we're at, what your personal position is, how close are we to where people will be able to take profits or, get some of the funds out. The long wait, the long wait has everything to do with how long we are going to be here as a company, how solid we're going to be as a company. We're building this as a real company to be here for decades and decades to come. This will be a legacy for you to actually leave behind for your children and maybe their children's children. This is a company that is built to last forever. And that's why the pain and the wait was so challenging for us, right? So let's kind of cover this. So the industry of crypto is in the middle of real becoming mature. And so it started as a very unregulated. No one knew where it was going. There was a lot of people that said that it wasn't going anywhere and that it would end. And governments were obviously looking at it as, is this temporary or is this forever? And as the industry became more and more what do we say, more and more legitimate or bigger, they were then forced, first of all, to have people that worked in the capacity of a government to understand the industry enough to know what to do as far as regulatory is concerned. And we're talking now 14 years since Bitcoin and blockchain was introduced to the world. So you're talking about a long time, but in reality, it's not that long. The first credit card was in the early 50s, and credit and debit cards weren't normal or common until 80s, 90s, right? So it takes a long time for these types of things to actually mature enough to where it becomes big enough or relevant enough for the industry and the governments to form what the rules will be for the future. Now, back in 2017, Hakan was coming really from the industry, the financial industry, being a CEO of a division of Finansbank, where he was working inside of finance and understood regulations very well in that industry. And as he saw that the blockchain, at that point, he saw that the blockchain was going to be and have a future. He understood that meant that it would be regulations. So exchanges then have opened up, depending on what year they opened up. And there was no governing law in many places, so they could start, they could build a website, build the code, launch an exchange from somewhere in the world, maybe an island where it was very easy to get approval for that kind of business. Then they can have certain solutions to how people can send them the money, and they would receive the money, and then people would sign on to these websites and be able to acquire their crypto. And wherever they were, the .com exchange could just simply do business with them, but the longer this has been going on, the more restrictions these governments have created. And many countries across the world have already decided on certain regulations, what you can and can't do. But through that, these exchanges and .coms have continued to maybe do business, even though in the local regulatory rules, they're actually not allowed to do what they're doing. So that then will be something that will continue to be enforced. And in Europe, they have already passed a new regulatory law, which is held under this legal thing called Micah. And Micah, it has not gone into full effect yet. However, when we were looking at being approved in various countries, there was the road to take where you submit what you want to do to the governing authority in that country, and they'll take that application by our lawyers, and they'll submit, here's who we are, this is our technology, these are our products, this is what we want to do, will you approve us for this activity? And so then there'll be an ongoing back and forth, and over time, with whatever the fee is, which is anywhere from say 400,000 to 600,000 to be approved for that activity. When you get approved, because this is such a new industry, many times they don't have an official certificate for that approval. They simply, the agency that you're working with will reach a conclusion that it is safe for this company to do this kind of business. And that's when you start to integrate your system with the governing body in that country that is responsible for the AML, which is the anti-money laundering authority. And so that's why you have your KYC requirements, and that's why you're integrating yourself into their system so that they can oversee all the transactions that you're doing. And in case they're seeing something that they consider to be a suspicious transaction, they have access to that data and can do their research. So they want to be 100% sure that you are not operating illegally, with individuals who are maybe on a register of not being allowed to transact because they've done something in the past, or they are, wanted by the officials. So then when we are asked about, a license, it's sometimes that we actually don't have, it's not a license per se, in that there's a document with a number on it that says you are a licensed company, but it's more of an approval and you are integrating into systems. So then we will kind of cover what that road has been here. So there is license that covers, say, the online and the web. That would be maybe in certain countries, that would be one kind of a license. And then in that same country, you need an additional license to be able to handle cash in the stores. And maybe the license will cover the ATM as well, because that is also handling cash and crypto in its physical form. So maybe, say, France has that as 2 types of licenses, but maybe another country has that as 1 type of license or 1 type of approval. It's good to note that as this Micah regulatory enforcement starts, the day that starts, the EU Parliament will demand that all the countries will let go of their existing rules and regulations and follow that common rule and regulation that will cover all of Europe. And that is scheduled for the date of 2025. Now, the way that we were able to be included as a company that will be allowed to operate under that license across the European continent was because we were looking at being compliant in Spain, and we looked at the different ways to do that. One of the ways that you do that is that you actually come in underneath someone else's license. So why would, say, Miracle Cash&more do that? Well, because there could be where the simple process of being approved could be a 2 or 3 year process, depending on the country. I even heard that Germany, it could be 5 years. So when you think of that, obviously you have to figure out how to be able to do this much, much faster with what we were doing. And the way to do that is to basically do a deal with a company that already has the approval. And so the company then, you can run all of your operations through that company and then directly to the governing authority. And so that is actually what's allowed. And of course, for us, it is an attractive proposition because it cuts down the time. So how that would happen is like you do the piggyback deal, then during the 2 years that it takes to get our own license, we are operating and we're profiting and we're able to deliver on our promises to all of our investors for the dividends and for the profits and to grow our customer base, and then simply switch over to the license as we achieve it, and then leave the piggyback deal. Now, when we were pursuing that in Spain, we were looking to do a piggyback deal with a company that's called Abu Bamboo. In the negotiations, Hakan noticed that they were, I would say, very, very in a position, can I call it desperate? But they were really seemingly like they wanted out. And Hakan noticed this, and instead of going forward with a piggyback deal, he offered to purchase the company and to keep the principals on board with us, and managed to work a deal with Abu Bamboo. And we then acquired Abu Bamboo. And the way that it works in the Micah regulations is if you are fully licensed and you've achieved this, then your license will pass over onto Micah, and you don't have to do the process and apply for Micah. So that was a huge win for us because in that one deal, we were able to cover all of Europe. Now, the challenge obviously is that Micah does not go into effect into June of 2025. Of course, we can't wait to open our markets and not open them until then. That would be unacceptable to all of our investors. So we continued to pursue the various avenues that we could to get open in all of the markets that we have our investors in. So of course, the Abu Bamboo acquisition was made. Then because we had not established our holding company yet, we were still 2 or 3 different companies out of either Turkey or Cyprus. And as we continued to grow our company, we knew that there was time to establish our international presence outside of Cyprus. And the best place for that was Portugal. So then we established Miracle Technologies LDA in Portugal. So that was step 1. Then we started the process of becoming integrated with Bison Bank, which we are, believe it or not, still in the process of integrating with Bison Bank. Their onboarding and vetting has been, very tricky, very diligently, and there's 5 different individuals that are being KYC'd from our company. I'm one of them, and I'm at the stage now where I'm submitting, proof of address and having to translate the documents from the Swedish language into the English language, and then mail those and notarize those documents and send those documents in. And I have to admit, I got this task maybe 7 weeks ago, but have been basically traveling around and not being able to actually fully complete that process. So everything has been very, very, very tedious to do that. But anyway, so also to set up a holding company in a foreign land and then bringing all the different companies in under that holding company is a long, tedious process as well. And so that was all being done over several months. And then once that was finished, It was starting with the Bison Bank in integration there, and then also now moving Abu Bambu into the ownership of our Metat Tera corporation, which has been completed. So all of these different things that we had to accomplish are all very time consuming, all very detailed and tedious, and all of it takes time to complete. But we are complete with that. And so we are now sitting in a position of being one of very, very few crypto companies that in 2025, when it goes into effect, all of these companies, if you go to coingecko.com and you look, you'll see there's, a couple of hundred exchanges, and you go down that list and you consider that if you look at just Spain alone, there's only 2 companies in Spain that have achieved the license for Spain. So it should give everyone an understanding of how maybe difficult, maybe how rare, or maybe how most crypto companies are not looking to be what we're looking to be. We're looking to be a fully licensed and regulated company in every single country that we're in. I get questions where they're saying, well, if we're so great, how come we can't use Miracle to buy our crypto? And that's a simple answer. We are not licensed to sell crypto to an American in any of the states because we haven't actually gone down that road. So they say, well, why other companies? Well, some of the companies that people are using are not regulated or licensed to do business, but they're doing it anyway. So that's what we call operating in the gray area. And over the next short years, that is going to end. It's going to be the end of that era of operating sort of in the gray area, operating outside of regulations, because regulations will become more and more demanding. We've seen this. We've seen the lawsuits from the SEC to Binance for some of the activities they've done. We've seen Binance be sued in several other countries. We've seen other exchanges having to shut their business for certain countries, and it's happening. And so I have to give a lot of credit to Hakan for seeing and understanding and looking at the industry in the way that he does, that it is going to be this. And what's good about it is that the customers are growing. There's more and more customers. But what's going to happen is that it's going to be less and less companies to go to, because they will be banned from doing business in these countries that have the regulations, and then they will have to seek to get their license. Now, after 2025, like for instance, there's a money transmitter license called EMI. We are in the process of looking to purchase by a company so that we can basically incorporate that EMI license into our company. And a few years ago, this is what Hakan was sharing with me, you could get an EMI license for like $20,000. Today, you cannot get an EMI license for under $2 million. So maybe when Abu Bambu got their license for Spain, maybe it cost them, $300,000 to $600,000 to get that accomplished. But that will translate into a Micah license. But after 2025, a Micah license could very easily be in the millions and millions of dollars because of the value of such a license. And obviously, the authorities know the value of the licenses, and they will set their prices accordingly. So let's look at France. France, people have been continuously asking about France, and we have been continuously waiting on the approval for the second license. So we were already approved for the web and app, but we were waiting for the ATM, electronic terminal, and store, and it was a painful wait. But now we have finally connected with the avenue to do this, and that is that we have now a piggyback deal with a crypto company called Condus. Now, Condus deal is already done, and what we are doing now is basically going through the integration of connecting our systems to the Condus systems. Now, because they are a private profit-driven company, their service of getting through that process is going to be much faster than doing something with a government body, because it's sales for them and they're eager to get going with us and finish that. So we will now, because of obviously the wait and the timelines and everything, we have left the model that we had, which was we have to open the store first, then we will start the online and everything after the store is open. And of course, now we're seeing, well, we need to get going, we need to open. So as soon as we integrate with for online, and then we will obviously go to open the store after that. So we're seeing this as an early 2024 event, and that is very exciting news. Spain as well. We spoke a lot about Spain. The Abu Bamboo owner, Juan, is still going to be with us, and he will be in charge of taking Metat Tera through to becoming fully licensed throughout EU for trading. And that obviously is going to be something that Miracle Cash&more will automatically be incorporated into. So we also are very impressed with Juan and Daniel, because they were able to actually accomplish this. Super bright, and they love what we're doing. So that is going to be an absolute exciting sort of strategic alliance with these two as being part of now Metat Tera and Miracle Cash&more. So I'm just looking at notes here. Let's go to Benelux. I know that they're mentioning Turkey and Germany, but we will get to that. So Benelux was actually, that was a franchise in the early days of Miracle Cash&more. And so what that was a franchisee who actually opened Netherlands, and we had our store there. The store was open for business, and we did operate for many months. We then were, and I wasn't so much involved in the ins and outs of this, but the franchisee wasn't wanting to grow the Netherlands market as fast or in the way that Miracle saw how it could grow the market. So there was a lot of back and forth, and then we agreed to, as a company, buy back that franchise, buy back 75% ownership in Holland, and the franchisee was able to keep 25%, but we then agreed that we would come in and relaunch Holland under Miracle. And in that, we had to actually switch out the actual company. And as we switched out the company, we got into talks with Bitfinex, and that then became a very attractive new structure for Miracle in Holland. And so Bitfinex became sort of a strategic alliance. They come with 1,500 retail locations that we're looking at. Out of those 1,500, where can we integrate our systems and do business in a retail capacity? And then they hold the license for the ATM and for the electronic terminal and for the store cash deals. We hold the license for the web and the app. So together, those two gives us the legal right to do business in all of Benelux. So that's Holland, Belgium, and Luxembourg. And we are actually, with every integration system, everything has been tested, everything has been approved. We are now we hired the general manager for Benelux. His name is Onsul, and he is coming from one of the top banks in Holland. He has amazing track record. I'll see if we can show everyone his CV. I believe we will be able to do that. Maybe we will be able to get him on some sort of video so that everyone can meet him. He was in the office the other day. Bright smile, had a 15-slide presentation of all the ideas. We sat for an hour and talked about all the exciting ideas we have for what we can do with our stores, and we can have different programs. The store in Amsterdam is amazing location. The traffic that goes past the Amsterdam store is thousands of people every day, and that is a huge opportunity to market and bring in crypto enthusiasts, maybe some crypto influencer parties at the store. And we just had a really good time talking about the future of what we could do. And he's just a very, very great guy. And we're excited to work with Bitdenex in the Benelux area. And I was told now today that we will be fully operational on Tuesday. And so the last part, believe it or not, was we had our team that came in from Turkey, and there is a law that you cannot have a non-Dutch person handle the activity of a cash transaction. So we have to get our local team trained to be able to do that, and we couldn't do that as a foreigner. And so that was just one of those last little things that we discovered, and it pushed our opening by a few days. But we are there. The limits, cash limits to purchase crypto is 10,000 euros in Europe. We spoke about the consolidation of bringing all the companies in under which now is Metat Tera. So Miracle Holding is the top of that structure, and then right under Miracle Holding is Metat Tera, and then under Metat Tera are all the companies for all the countries underneath. And we also have Miracle Estates under Metat Tera. We have the 2 token companies that are in Switzerland. They are also under Metat Tera. We have a company that most people don't even know about, which is a website that deals with selling secondhand furniture and products that are in Turkey. That is also under Metat Tera. And there's a few different businesses in Cyprus that I'll get into in a little bit that's also under Metat Tera. And we're continuing to add different companies and activities under the Metat Tera public company. So Germany, again, This is maybe a little bit of a repeat. Let me go back here. Spain, France. No, actually, we get to Germany. So we did speak about this a little bit. That in Germany, we achieved a license very early on. We've had that space for many, many, many months. And the store in Germany, I actually found that in November of 2022, I believe. No, December, actually. And so we have a space in Kaufmannsterdam, I think it's called. It is literally the rodeo drive of Europe. You have Prada and Porsche and Rolex and Louis Vuitton, all of the high-end fashion brands, high-end watch brands, a very, very beautiful street, huge, wide street, beautiful, beautiful location, 380 square meter space. I have shown videos in the Telegram channel of that space, and everything is completed there. We then also have Condus as the piggyback company that allows us to do the ATMs, that allows us to do the terminals. And also, Condus actually had to go to Baffin and let them know that they were looking to do a store. And Baffin is the regulatory aid body of Germany. And so, because no one had actually ever wanting to do that or suggested to do that, it was a new thing that they had to look at. Okay, what does that mean? And they had to kind of cover all of the points to, the legal framework of that, and the money laundering aspect to it, understand how the transactions would go across, and know that each individual is KYC'd, and have a full understanding of it. And then they have then approved that. And, then the next step is the integration of everything. And that integration is happening right now. And again, we say that that is a process that they have said they will be able to facilitate in 2 to 3 weeks. And maybe that was a week ago. So we are looking very good. Again, Germany, there's only 5 companies that have actually been approved for crypto. And that is the same thing. We have integrated with Baffin. It's not Buffin, it's actually Baffin. And so that is actually just an approval, and it doesn't, it doesn't really come in under what is like an official license. It's just sort of an approval. And again, when it becomes a license, it's really Micah. It becomes a license, and because that is official regulations that have been written and decided on and voted on and passed through the governing body of the EU. We have local relationships in Germany with several banks. I was involved in discussions, with the bank discussions. And, it's good to know this, that we've seen it, that there's been friends of mine in Europe who sent money to a crypto company. And because they sent money to a crypto company, they closed their account. So, that is one concern, obviously, that you have as a company. If that is the culture of some of the banks, that they close the accounts when they send money to a crypto company, you have to have 2 layers set up. You have to have a bank that is crypto friendly, then you have to integrate that bank with your crypto company. So when people are sending money, they're not sending it to a crypto company, they're sending it to another bank that then transfers that money to us. And so then our customers won't risk losing their accounts. Then you have also a lot of considerations for how long does it take. If it gets transferred through SWIFT, you could be looking at a 24-hour transfer time. But if it transfers through SEPA, then it's instant. So to really facilitate and service the customers, you look to find the absolute best and fastest solution for the money transfer. So someone walks into the store, they want to set up an account and buy some, say, Bitcoin, and then the store person is showing them how to do it, and then they set up their banking, and then it goes through SEPA instead of SWIFT, because you've done your homework and you set it up correctly, and then within minutes that transaction has happened, and then the crypto can be delivered to the customer. So then it's that you are competing in an actual smooth and fast transaction speed, and then you're competitive in the marketplace, and there's a great customer experience. Now for Germany, because of the really, really amazing store, and plus an additional store in Cologne, our spend in Germany is at $3.2 million, and that's between the license, the rents. I think the Berlin store is close to 20,000 euros a month. Huge space, and there's enough space there that we can actually use to actually create the headquarters of Europe in that store. It would easily, be able to have anywhere from 15 to 20 staff in there comfortably. Huge space for additional operations out of that location. So it is our flagship, and I believe it's our world flagship store. I think that is going to be for a long time. Maybe some other thing happens where something more bigger and more beautiful, but it's just an incredible space. Germany. So there is two sides to an exchange. One is the custodial, which custodial means the wallets. How do you store people's crypto in your exchange? Then you have the function of the actual transactional aspect to the exchange as well, which is when someone's trading coins, that is a function. You call that the exchange. Then you have the other side, which is the wallets. Because there's been so many different catastrophic events where crypto has been lost. So all of the people, if you can imagine, you have $10,000 sitting in your wallet at an exchange, and then all of a sudden the exchange experiences a major hack, for instance. Then your $10,000 could be lost and gone forever. And it was really not your fault. It was nothing you did. It was something that was a mismanaged custodial situation with the exchange. So, because of that, Hakan was 100% sure. He did not want to have a company that was a custodial company. And so the industry is moving away from an exchange having control of the crypto. And it has a much higher preference on that there is another company that's all they do. And so the biggest one in the world is Fireblocks. And to have Fireblocks service you as a company for the wallets, there's a monthly fee, I think somewhere around $15,000 to $20,000 a month. and you basically pay for the service. You integrate your exchange and API integration with Fireblocks, and then Fireblocks then is providing that service, and also then has that license for wherever you're going. And they then also have done let me see, my brain is going going as so much content, is insured by and used Lloyd's of London to insure their crypto and their wallet. So if there is a breach, let's say there's a hack and crypto is stolen from your wallet in Miracle Cash, then that insurance is covering that loss. So, however, then Germany has a specific license there that Fireblocks did not have. And so for Germany, that is the only country that we use Tangani instead of Fireblocks for that reason. And so these are little things that we discover along the way, and obviously every little detail becomes an activity that we have to perform to be able to do business. So then we actually secured a deal with a company that owns over 4,000 GSM stores, which is basically like cell phone stores. Those GSM stores have a like a license to resell the Vodafone cell phone service. And they are not Vodafone corporate stores. Vodafone has also their own stores. And so the contract is not with Vodafone, it is with the GSM network of 4,000 stores who have the license to sell Vodafone. So that's all they do as far as the service goes. If you go to those stores and you want to buy the service, the monthly service of cell phone, then it is the Vodafone service, but they can sell any handset in the store they want, and they can actually really sell, you know, anything they want because it's not the Vodafone corporate store. So with them, our products that we will offer is, first of all, they will use our crypto electronic terminals. And then they will also be able to, where we can actually have our trading desk installed into their system. So they will be able to actually receive cash and sell crypto through those stores. So when we integrate with them, then we will automatically then have 4,000 locations, which is, I would say, an offspring of the Miracle outlets. And what's great about that is that that does not fall as an overhead for us. We don't have to pay the salaries. We don't have to pay the rents, but we will then automatically be able to reach all of their customers. And for them, it's great because they obviously will share in the commission on that. And it's a very exciting deal. Also, for those of you who are familiar with Miracle with installments, and that is the sort of funding product that we have, where you have a customer who, say, for instance, wants to purchase an iPhone, but they don't have the money to do so. They could actually then apply and through the Miracle app, and their data, their credit data would be pulled down from Schufa, because we have integrated our system with Schufa, which is the credit bureau of Germany. And we will then use what's called a blended score, which is actually a much better way at looking at credit. And that customer then would be approved for being able to purchase a miracle token on a purchase contract. So that then would be an approval based on their credit quality. They will be approved, say, anywhere from 100 miracle tokens to 2,500 miracle tokens. And so those tokens will instantly be able to be converted into money, and then they can use that to buy their, say, iPhone 15 with, and then they will do installment payments to Miracle Cash&more. And so that deal is very attractive because it's a very high commission on that deal. There's the high fee, high commission. And, with 4,000 stores, if we do one such deal a day in each store, then that can turn into a couple of $100 million in profit on an annual basis. So it's a very powerful product because it ties into existing networks where customers can apply, get approved, and purchase the products that want. So they could be really any kind of store. It could be electronic shops, obviously. It could be mechanics, because you need to fix your car, you don't have the money. It can be anything. So it's an amazing product to have as a company. Italy, in the process of setting up everything in Italy. So every country that we're doing, before we decide on a country, we do our research to make sure that we will achieve getting approval to operate our business in that country. If we, for even a small percentage, thought that we wouldn't be able to achieve that, of course, we would pick the easier market to go into. And so when we looked at everything, we felt that Italy was a perfect market for us to go into. And we are getting the company set up. And after we have the company set up, we will go to the next stage, which is getting an approval to do the business of what we're doing in Italy. United Kingdom is the authority there is the FCA, and the FCA has been, finding its way through their regulatory framework of how their regulations are set up. And we are in that process, and we anticipate that we will find our way through to getting the license. But meanwhile, that is, again, a very logical thing to do is to actually piggyback. So we are piggybacking on Zuma. So we have a contract with Zuma, and through Zuma, we can do every single service that we want to do. And we will be with them until we get our own license, and then we will discontinue and move forward with our own. But with Zuma, we are 100% fully legal to open for business, and we plan on opening early 2024. Moving on to Turkey. Turkey, everything is done. So we are one of only 5 companies to have the relationship with the Turkish bank, FIBA Bank. It's the largest bank in Turkey. And for us to do our transactional business in Turkey, FIBA Bank required a $1 million deposit into the account. And we have done that, and that is there, and it's been there for several months. All of our systems, everything has been integrated. MASAC is the governing body there. And if you do not have an approval from MASAC, you cannot do any crypto in Turkey. And there's only 5 companies that have that approval. It is not like a license. It's more that you first of all have to be approved. Then you have to integrate your systems with MASAC for the money laundering overview. You have to have the banking relationships. And if you have all of that, then you are good to go. And we are good to go. And now we're literally just deciding on how to open. And I believe that we held off just a little bit because we want to launch our marketing. And actually, our marketing will start on Monday. And there will be a lot of information going out from our company into the World Wide Web. And as soon as that is deployed, we will update everybody on that. And so everything looks absolutely fantastic. Turkey is one of the top countries in the world of adoption of crypto. The percentage of people in Turkey that have wallets that are involved in crypto is one of the highest in the world. So it is a very exciting market. The top company is called Paribu. They're doing $800 million in a day in transactions, and that results probably in somewhere around $8 million a day in revenue for that company. So we're coming and we're ready to compete for that business. And as everyone should know and understand, is that the industry itself is growing at several 100% a year. So every year there's more and more customers out there to have. So not only are we able to compete with the existing companies, but we're also there to handle the growth of the industry as a company. And so it's sort of like more customers available than there are companies available to service them. And I've known this for many years, because many times when we're in a bull market, the exchanges that we're dealing with, we have a very hard time to get customer service because they are growing so fast and there's so much business to be had. And we are now entering into a bull market. So we are anticipating that we will have an amazing influx of customers as we start to market our company. So we have signed a deal with a company called UserSpot. UserSpot is a UI and UX company, which is short for user experience and user interface. So these two together is what gives a customer its experience on your website. And they just got done designing Visa's international website. So that gives you an indication of the quality of work they do. And they looked at us and they said, well, we could improve your site by many, many times. And of course, you know, that is sort of the life of a small company becoming a big company, is that the quality of the vendors that we use increase, and thereby our company's profile and the quality of our company increases alongside with the quality of people that we work with. Cyprus is the market that Miracle launched in, and it's because Hakan is a Cypriot. He's a Cypriot that was born in London and was raised in London. He did his university in Turkey and actually was educated as a lawyer. Later on, moved back to London. And instead of practicing law, he fell into the business of ATM business in England. And him and his team have are responsible for installing 38,000 ATMs all over the UK, and then moved back to Turkey after that, had another, around 15 years in banking, and was part of the ATM conversion in Turkey, and also in the consumer credit industry, and had huge wins there. I'll see if I can upload a few documents into the groups on his success. There's some great news articles on him and his success in Turkey. So then he actually met his wife in Turkey and had a daughter, and decided to move to Cyprus. And so his life in Cyprus started at around 2015-16, and in 2017 he launched Miracle Cash&more, and in 2019 he opened the first store, and started to build this Miracle Cash&more as an international company with all of these innovative products, and with the goal of having storefronts across the world, with an exit plan of being able to exit within a few years at a very, very high valuation. So currently there is, in a city called Lefke, there is a Miracle Cash&more crypto exchange, and there's a Miracle Cash&more currency exchange. There's another Miracle Cash&more crypto exchange in Girne, and we just opened the third Miracle Cash&more crypto exchange in the capital, which is Nicosia. There's another crypto exchange and currency store that is being finalized in the city of Famagusta, and that is scheduled to open the next month or so. Miracle Cash&more was part of helping the government write its anti-money laundering laws, and in that, all of the rules and regulations was modeled after Micah in Europe. And because of that, and that Miracle is already built to be approved, Miracle is the only crypto company in North Cyprus that has that license, but the law has not been enforced yet. When it does, then all of the competitors will either have to close, or they have to come in under Miracle's license and use Miracle's platform and technology to continue their business. We just got a media license channel for broadcasting the National Football League here, and that also passes over to Turkey. So if Turks want to watch the league in Cyprus, they can do that, and that would be through the Miracle Media, which of course gives us access to market to those viewers. That then also will be a TV license where we plan on creating a crypto channel that runs 24/7. And because that license can be broadcasted over to Turkey, it carries through Turkey over to all of the world. So Miracle Crypto Television is coming in the future as a result of that. Miracle is sponsoring and owns a football team here, and it is in the second division, I guess you could say, and they are at the top of that division, and will be a first division team next year. We are also in negotiations with the World's Gravity Sports Organization, and they have a downhill skateboard sport that is a very exciting sport. They travel from country to country and compete against each other, going 70 miles an hour down these roads. And we are negotiating to become part owner of that sport and the head sponsors of it. It's a very exciting, fast, exciting sport. And so we're looking to brand Miracle and possibly Phoenix to that sport. Similar approach to marketing as Red Bull has done and built their brand around these exciting type events. So recently, Miracle signed a deal with the Cyprus government, and that deal reads that we are the only crypto company exclusively who can do crypto type projects with the Minister of Tourism. And for us, what that is helping us with is to be able to access the government's owned land for projects like building hotels and casino resorts. And in that deal, we have acquired 2 oceanfront properties, and we are in the process of establishing and building a hotel casino, oceanfront hotel casino, and working with one of the top architects firms in the world. It's TA for short. I will put the name of them in our social media so you can see who they are. Amazing company with beautiful architecture. They have built projects in Dubai, United States, Qatar, Europe, all around the world. They've built airports, they've built train stations, museums, skyscrapers, hotels, all kinds of amazing projects. The last project they did in Dubai sold out in one day. We posted a picture of me in Istanbul with the company, and one of the owners. She's an absolute awesome person, and we spoke in length of how this first resort casino should be built, with attached residential and also resort casino all in one big project and property. And it is an extremely exciting proposition and project for us. And I think that is there. I'm sure there's more. There's so much in Cyprus. We're negotiating and buying a license, the last license that's available to sell insurance. So we will be also selling insurance here. And the opportunity is endless in Cyprus because Ebru Hakan's wife is also very popular, and we believe that she will make a run for the prime minister position of Cyprus. And so there's so much opportunity here. Hakan and Ebru have worked their way up very high in the country, and on Tuesday we're having the Miracle Christmas party, and the prime minister will be there, and the president will be there, congratulating Miracle for all of its progress and success out in the world. Miracle is the most successful Cypriot company in history of the TRNC. So we will have some footage from from that party. So a lot of this here we have spoken about. I don't think I left anything out. All of the countries. We are planning and talking about an additional country maybe outside of the EU coming up in 2024. Fireblocks. As far as the Phoenix token goes, everything is done on the technology side. We are updating and finalizing white paper. There was some additional new developments in there. So that is being finalized. And when we have that, we are poised to launch Phoenix, and it will be very soon. We're excited about being able to release and deploy our marketing on Monday, and the marketing company, which is MC Saatchi, they've worked as the main marketing company for Turkish Airlines. They were involved doing the Morgan Freeman campaign, which was also a Super Bowl ad. They worked with Coca-Cola. They worked with a lot of international, powerful, big corporate companies, and they're bringing all of that might and power into backing Miracle as our marketing firm. So because we are deploying and putting that marketing out there, we are really looking forward to a Phoenix token launch. There is discussion on the rules for our Phoenix token holders, and we're looking at a very specific program to where our ICO Phoenix holders can sell their Phoenix at a huge profit, and to be able to finally get some of that money that has been invested back into your pockets, and to realize and to celebrate that success. And we couldn't be more delighted when we get to that place, which I believe is right around the corner from the conversations that we had today. So what are the factors that allow you to get licensed? Well, you have to have all of your ducks in a row. You have to be very good at the AML structure. You have to obviously incur the cost of the fees. Because many of the other companies are basically open to the world, so it's not in their culture to say, okay, now I'm going to go get a license in Germany. When they sell in 48 countries, what country do they choose to be licensed in, since their business model was just to be open to the world? So that's why a lot of them are just simply not doing it. But to be able to be approved, it's a KYC and a KYB. It's a continuous submission to the regulatory agencies following the anti-money laundering regulations. We have actually written our own AML regulatory document. We have that. I'll see if I can submit that into maybe our Facebook page so everybody can read that through. Then you have, are you custodial or non-custodial? Are you an exchange? Do you do futures trading, leverage trading? All of that is part of the approval process. So we're very close to the live. So understanding how the future goes as far as our ability to grow. So we've been pretty much building the company with our affiliate program and our face-to-face, belly-to-belly referral program, and that has gotten us to where we are today. So now that we are going public, that is another avenue for us to fund the company and to have, capital injections for a faster growth. Our brokers are saying that by April, they believe that they can go very, very strong into selling additional shares of the company, and they see no problem in bringing in millions and millions of dollars through doing that. So then that opens up another avenue for being capitalized through the NASDAQ world, which is a huge space for bringing funds. We also have, obviously, then our utility token, and that is an international expansion of marketing, having lots of influencers in the blockchain world, and educating the market of who we are, what we're doing. We are the most versatile, exciting crypto company on the planet, I believe. So I think we will have no problem with that, those funds. Then we also have, obviously, we're now going into business as a company. So we will have revenue from Turkey, from Germany, from Holland, from Spain. And as we continue to open, that revenue will continue to expand, continue to feed the company with profits. And so there's several different avenues of strength. And of course, our cash flow NFT company will become stronger, and as we are proving ourselves in the world. Okay. Shufa is the... So we have, because of a miracle with installments, maybe I did mention this before, but we are integrated into the different countries' credit bureaus. So in Germany, it's Schufa. It's just kind of similar to in the United States, it's Experian. UK has their Findex in Turkey. So this has all been integrated. So that is one step towards the ability to start doing our miracle with installments, our consumer credit product. Our DCFs was done by Mert Erer, a professor out of Turkey. He is at the Marmara University. That is the most prestigious university in Turkey. But he is an international expert. He sits on a board on a very prestigious corporation in Germany. I will send the link to that corporation. So because he sits on the board of that company, he suggested that that company would verify our DCFs, and that is another way of doing it. You can do it with an accounting firm like Ernst & Young, but if Ernst & Young would do it, they're not that fast. So they are, maybe a 12-month process. So the international conglomerate that he sits on the board has offered to validate these DCFs, which is, and I don't know this world like they do, but it is as much clout as Ernst & Young would give. We're very similar in kind to the culture of Coinbase. I watched the documentary about those guys, and it made me not dislike them as much, maybe, as I did before. It's kind of irritating with some of the things that, we see them do. But one of the things that you have to respect is that they do follow the regulatory world. And that is kind of what gives them their strength. And, same with us. What's giving us our strength is that we are not cutting any corners. And it's very important to not do that, because if you do break rules, and let's say you start selling crypto in a country that you're not licensed in, then when you go to do your license and they find out that you had sort of jumped the gun and did that, that's going to work against you. So you have to respect that in business, your value obviously is going to follow along the lines of, you know, how you are conducting yourself in business, especially in this type of an industry that deals with finance. You have to actually follow these rules, and then if you do, you do get the respect from the governing bodies. So here, let's see. Yeah, that brings me kind of to a conclusion on that. So we had an announcement that we wanted to share. I don't know, Melanie walked out of the room. So Melanie, did you want to be part of this? Let me go to like Coin Gecko. Let me stop the screen share. So oh, okay. Well, what do we do? Let me pause the recording. Happy holiday. Happy holiday. We're so excited. We're so excited.
Happy holiday. Happy holiday
season, and Santa Claus is coming around. The Christmas snow is white on the ground. When old Santa gets into town, he'll be coming down the chimney down.
Coming down the chimney down.
It's happy the holiday season, and Santa Claus has got it.
What are you thankful for, Melanie?
Oh my goodness. Where do I begin? I'm so thankful for being here in Cyprus.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for this season of friends and family. I am thankful for this free gift.
I am thankful that we got the approval from Hakan to give everyone 1,111 Phoenix tokens. So every single person who has bought Phoenix before will be gifted 1,111 Phoenix tokens for Christmas. And that is something that we wanted to do because we got a little bit delayed in the Phoenix token launch. And we thought, well, how can we make it up to everyone? How can we show them that we truly, truly, truly want to make sure that everyone, you know, gets some love from us, you know, for being so patient, for being so supportive. I know that, you know, some of you have heard your story about, you know, that right now it's a tough time, and, you know, we're doing every single thing that we can to get to this place that we know that we're going to, where everyone will be absolutely blessed by this company's success. And we're so close. Monday we start the marketing, and Tuesday we go full live business in Holland, and Turkey, I believe, is next weekend, and Phoenix is right around the corner. It's very, very close. We're working very hard for that launch, and working for the last details there on how those rules will be shaped for how you can sell a Phoenix token and actually bring some money into your home, into your lives, into your family, to be able to do the things that you want to do. So I say happy holidays to everyone from me, and Melanie's right here next to me. And
Holidays.
we've been hard at work all day, and we'll be wrapping up here soon, and we'll be back to work tomorrow morning, and we'll work over the weekend. And you know, on the 20th, I'll be maybe traveling back to sort of enjoy a few days off for Christmas with my family. But much love to everyone, and thank you for being there. Thank you for supporting the project. And we look forward to delivering some more good news. Maybe on Monday, I believe we have something amazing coming, I think. So thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Hakan. Woo!
Thank you, Hakan.
That's fun. That'll be a fun ending. I'll tell everybody.